question for you would be, see, it's a new product which you're pulling in a market which already is using certain products, which is already there. So what are the challenges that you're facing to introduce a new product? That might be in terms of convincing the people who are the designers who want to use that, the developer who may use it in his product, and even the end user who might have a concern as to what that material is and how he or she can use it in his own space. One. And the other part to this question would be where designers raise a concern if it is meeting all the guidelines of the regulations and the rules and the regulations of the fire, of any environmental, for making it a green product and things like that. So what are the challenges that you are facing, and how do you think it is going to end up, including its cost? So yeah, it's a big question, yeah, and broken down into.
Lindy, you want to talk about the challenges to start, and then we can add.
Challenges, yeah, there are different challenges. What we already measured, because we already did like expositions. This is what we first started with, was the exposition at the Dutch Design Week last year, and we were just like, try to see how people react, because dung is something that it's something that's from the cow, and it's you don't associate it with nice products. So then we wanted to know how the consumers, architects, and other different people will react on it. And you notice that there already we got some response from people, is it dung? What's that? And people want to touch and to smell and to feel. So that was already something that we thought, people are going to like love it, and other people will have a small barrier to use it. But overall, we got very positive information about the acceptance. So that's the first part. Like the people, we wanted to know that the people are going to use it, how we're going to react on something like this, and that was, I say, a nice way to get to know how. The acceptance of people to use dung in a product was like the first barrier that we thought, are they going to accept it? And that was a very nice way to test it. But we are going also the other barriers, but I think Itika and Swapna can also like tell more about that.
Right. So one of the barriers, I think, to build on what Lindy said, and Sabri, what you were saying, I think the testing and the feasibility of the material to say technically what is it capable of is a challenge, because firstly, with bio-based materials, you will never get the same raw material all the time. It is always going to be different. It depends on what the cow is eating. The cow in the Netherlands behaves differently than the one in India. They're genetically different species overall, and also the kind of food they eat is different. The cows here are grown for meat as much as for milk and things like that. So standardization is a huge challenge, because of which then testing feasibility becomes a big challenge. And we've been trying to figure out processes where there may be some way in which we can, at least the form in which we use the material is standardized. So whether it is its moisture content, its texture content, the amount of cellulose it has, or things like that. So that would be one. Another, I think, challenge that we are facing, this one's very personal actually to us, because we're design studios, and I think a lot of your architecture and design listeners would agree with this. I think our other challenge is to not know when to stop. We're creatives who want to go on exploring, because until it's perfectly right, you don't want to give it into the market. And that never happens. With materials, that never happens. You'll always have more that comes out. So I think there we're kind of a check and balance for each other, to be like, okay, stop. Now this one we need to move further with, while one of you can go and keep experimenting further or things like that. So I think, that would be a more softer challenge. Swapnil, anything else from something I may have missed?
I think the way you mentioned the standardization, that is one of the biggest challenge what we have right now. So as she said, even though when we are working with material, exploring and coming up with like a sample and everything, so as making it, we can actually feel the material and get a sense out of how the material. But of course, for the validation and for the market, of course, you have to have all the rules and regulations followed and come up with the numbers and certifications. So, I mean, even though you get the vibe, it's a wonderful material, but for the market validity, that is actually still remains. So that is one of the challenges. Even in India, I think we have seen that I don't think so. There's actually like institutions are there like which can provide us all the facilities. So that could be like, I mean, not just for I think it's challenge for almost any startups or any material innovators. So that is one.
Yeah, and I think also one last point would be to create a business viability of a new material is not easy because we don't want to be greedy about it where we're like, okay, we'll patent this and this is going to be our idea and anyone who does it will have to, give us money. Doesn't work. That kills the point. But then if you don't do that, then where do you fund your research? Where do you fund your testing and all of that? So somewhere there of how do you create a balance of making this material accessible, scalable, and yet getting just the right amount so that you can continue to do the good work that excites you is also something we're still figuring out as a part of our accelerator program in the Netherlands. And it will start in India also very soon. So.
Welcome to the world of Dungse. What you see around you is a range of new building materials created out of cow dung. When you think of dung, you rarely imagine beyond those smelly green droppings you see in the farms. But what you get with Dungse is a dung range that looks, smells and feels similar to traditional materials like wood, concrete, wool and plastic. Dungse was born out of our research to design solutions for the excessive dung produced by the 2 million cows of the Dutch dairy industry. Looking at our Eastern and Western worlds for answers, we rediscovered the properties of this unusual material that can offer a sustainable future. We feel that we urgently need to embrace nature in its entirety and reimagine possibilities that are conducive to life of our future generations. It's time to make this shit happen.